Hello and welcome back to Black Dice Gaming. I'm James and today we're going to be doing a painting tutorial. These are the Hobgrot Slittaz from the Stormbringer magazine set that I've been collecting. And as you can see, I've just done a Slapchop undercoat, so black with grey and then some white highlights as well. This is a few of the models that I've completed so far using this method. That's the unit champion. I'm going to just bring the standard bearer here. Now, the discs here, I've been just practicing with some colours that I got. So I recently got the metallic paints from Army Painter, and these are a few that I used. I've also been using the Evil Chrome as well, which is the kind of brassy, bronzy sort of colour. Doesn't really look like it does on the packet there, but I've been using those just to see what they're going to look like. For those that have been watching the channel, I'm going to use the gemstone metallic for some of the skull crushers. See how that works out, but you know, not a bad colour. That was tainted gold. That's the Evil Chrome. I think that one was tainted gold. What else did I use? The gemstone is the red, dark red. That's the scale one, the black one. And then I just did a couple in Iron Warriors, I think it was. But that's the standard. And then just a couple more examples just here. I've painted the teeth in on these ones, as well as the fingernails. So these are pretty much at a finished standard now. I might go around and pick out a bit more yellow on these grenades, because they're not quite as yellow as I wanted them to be. And the reason I picked yellow was because I've done yellow shields on my Orruk, so I'll just get one of those for you. So yeah, there's my Orruk. Again, just Slapchop method, using all speed paints. Just really nice and quick. And then the war boss there as well. Again, just really nice and quick paint jobs. There we go. Anyway, so let's get on with it. The first colour we're going to be using is Orc Skin speed paint. Now, I am using a wet palette just because it's really warm tonight. Normally I would just use my old broken dish palette, but tonight I'm going to be using a wet palette. So just going to get a little blob of this on the parchment, and then we'll start with the skin. Okay, so I don't really suppose it matters where you start here, but it's just about getting a coat over it. This was supposed to be a live video, but I'm having issues with my internet, so I've decided just to record it as if I was live. So you're pretty much going to see the whole model painted, hopefully. Yeah, I haven't gone live before, so I was just going to test it out with a quite simple model, because these not only don't take long to paint, but I don't use many colours on these either. So I thought I'd use this as my very first live just to see how it goes. But it was not to be. Maybe next time. So as you can see, just being careful just to get the paint where I want it. But I'm not too bothered on the metallic areas because the metallic's going to cover any of this speed paint that we put down anywhere. But things like the ropes and things, which are going to be a much lighter colour, we don't want to be getting any green on there if we can help it. But as you can see, the speed paint is doing what a speed paint does, and because of the Slapchop undercoat, it's light and dark in all the right places. Now, I've been experimenting with it, so I'm basically going through all the Orc models from the Stormbringer series, and I've pretty much knocked most of them, if not all of them, out very, very quickly. In fact, these are the last ones. Actually, this is the last model because I've done all the other 9. So this is the last model in the Army of Destruction set of the bloody hell, throwing my brush now. Set of the Army of Destruction that I've got so far. Now the other 4 magazines have arrived, but the only orc model in there, I was going to say orc and goblin there, that was a blast from the past. The only orc model in there is a Swamp Caller Shaman. So pretty much I'm going to have I'm a month ahead after I finish that Swamp Caller Shaman. Now it does give you instructions on how to paint them using the paints that are provided so far in the magazine. But, well, as a beginner, with only those paints that they've supplied, that's the best you could possibly do. But when you've got a selection of paints at your disposal, then there are much better ways of doing it, which is what I'm doing. Oh, well, what I think I'm doing. So these are painted up pretty easily. Like I say, I haven't gone overboard with the different colours, and oh, that's another thing as well. Obviously, the box art for these models is a completely different skin colour, but I didn't have that or anything else that I could use instead. But even if I did, I like the idea of them tying into the orcs that I've already done, and therefore the green is the best colour for me. It looks right, in my opinion. When I used to play fantasy back in the 90s, the hobgoblins used to be green. So I'm kind of stuck in the mindset that they should still be green. Although I do like the skin colours of some of the other ones. I think I was watching a video the other night of one guy doing 4 different colours. That was quite interesting. Like I say, I like it to keep in keeping with the army that I'm building up so far. So that means they're going to be green. I do need to sort of get around to basing things because that's my biggest weakness, is actually basing models. It's something that I certainly don't do enough. Maybe I should have glued him into his base as well. I keep slipping out. Okay. I'll give it a once over. You can see there that the shading in all the right places. There we go. Okay. Now, next colour is going to be Iron Warrior, sorry. I've used that on all the metallics. It's a nice sort of dirty silver, and I like it because of that. A bit on the palette. Okay, and I'm going to start with the breastplate, so that's where we'll start tonight. Now, sometimes with the silver, you don't have to be, because of the slap chop method, you don't have to be too neat with this. Sometimes it actually works better if you don't cover the whole thing. And it leaves sort of some natural edge highlighting. Maybe watered this down a bit too much actually, because it seems to just be coating everything. It's okay. We live and we learn. And I just do the handle of the grenade as well, just up to there. Okay, and then the blades. At this stage you can sort of tidy up if you have made a bit of a mess with the green. You can tidy it up with the silver, just go over it. Especially like on the if you've been doing the skin, you've been getting it on the areas that are going to be metallic, then it's going to cover pretty well. Now the armband that you can just see, I paint that in the evil chrome, and that's going to match the icon at the front of his belt there. Just move on to the helmet. Just being careful around the face area. And then the back. I think that's all the metallics, isn't it? You got one server. So the thing I found with these models is you don't, especially the orcs and these hobgrots, you don't need to be particularly tidy. So this, I'm going to do an evil Kron now. I'm going to do that next. So if you want to know what it kind of looks like, that's the one we're going for next. We're just going to do his icon on his belt. It just gives it a bit of flavour, separates it from everything else. There we go. And now this band. I find these quite awkward and quite fiddly. There we go. Okay, so we've got, it's not brilliant coverage, I must admit. There we go. Now we're not far from being done now. I'm going to do the yellow, we'll do the grenade tip next. So yeah, this is where maybe a little bit heavier. Any areas that you know you're going to do in such a light colour like yellow, you should maybe go a little bit heavier on the whites, or at the very least the grey when you're doing your undercoat, because as you can see, it's quite a dark colour. You know, I've not got a lot of coverage here at all at this side of it, a little bit more there, and it's the same with most of them. It's left a very dirty yellow, which I kind of want, but would have been nice to be a little bit brighter. So that's something maybe to learn for future. Okay, well that's a yellow done. And moving on, we've got pallid bun. And this we're going to use for the ropes and the strings that surround him. Sometimes this gives really good coverage. I prefer this to Skeleton Horde. I find it covers better, right? But even then, it's not a very good covering pen. Sometimes you need to go around each piece of rope a couple of times. You notice I haven't actually painted his loincloth there. I've just left that in the zenithal, in the Slapchop undercoat. But you could always paint that if you wanted to. The colours I've used were the Gravelord Grey, and what's the purple? Hive Dweller Purple speed paint. I used those colours on the Orruks, should I say now? They'll always be orcs to me, I'm sorry. I'm old school. I'm not sure how well this is picking up on the camera, but it's a very, very subtle colour. Especially with the undercut that we've used. And sometimes I put it on a little thick just to get a bit of colour come through, a bit of coverage. Yeah, I think that's, you can see it's got some coverage. It's just turned them a sort of beigey type colour. So it looks like it's got some colour on, but not a great deal. Yeah, okay. Now I'm going to put a Nuln wash over the metallic areas. And this is to just get the definition back into the okay. So you can see it's kind of picked up in the recesses, surrounded those buttons to make them stand out just a little bit more. Now you can, I mean, this is the last step as far as I'm concerned for battle ready. Maybe notice it more there. You can see how it kind of gets into the center to show you the rune or the inscription that's on there. You know, if you just want to put these on the table, then this is an excellent paint job for that. It's really quick, really simple. How many colours have you used? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've only used six different colours, and all of them tie in with the rest of the army. So all I'm doing really is trying to get it into the recesses to give it the definition, to give it some sort of shading, just as we would normally use Nuln oil. It's coming off its thing. Speed paints would normally do it itself, but the metallic ones, anybody who's tried the metallic ones, I'd like to know how you've got on with them. The new metallic ones from Army Painter. I was going to treat myself to the new set, but I don't know. No, it's the light's not perfect for you there, is it? Okay, so we've got more definition on the armour. When that dries, that'll look a lot better. Now, the 7th colour you can use, and this is completely optional if you really want to go that far. Is it Screaming? Yeah, Screaming Skull. And this is going to be highlighting the teeth. Now, I'm not really confident with this sort of thing. I don't paint eyes at the minute. Well, not if I can help it, at least. I did the eyes on my bloodthirster, but That's because they were so big. Now the tiny, tiny little amounts on the brush here. And wish me luck, this doesn't always come out right. Okay, that could have gone a lot worse. And if you want to, you can do the claws and the talons and the toenails and things. I'm just going to go around and do them on the boss. I missed them on the boss. And I think it was a standard bearer, yeah. And then they've all got the teeth done. Like little vampires, aren't they? Breathe. There we go. Right, and that's it. That is literally it. Now, don't get me wrong, you can highlight things with other colours and take it a whole step further if you wanted to. And I might actually do that on my war boss. Might go through and, you know, highlight the metal, highlight its shield, and pick out some skin bits that I can highlight as well. And just show you how I do that as well. But for the time being, just to get these knocked out quickly and done and dusted, that's all 10 of them done and ready to go. You know, but except for the base, obviously, because I'm lazy. I don't do the bases. I just paint them grey. That's all I do. And I ain't even done that with any of these ones yet. But actually, you can see there the sort of size difference. They're like half the size of an orc and less than half the size of the war boss. But it'll just give you some indication there. I mean, that's, you know, it's a nice enough paint job. It's in keeping with the army, which is what I wanted and why I kept the skin tone to green. But yeah, that's it, done and dusted. Like I say, only used. I've put some of the colours back now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 colours with it, and a wash. Something like that anyway, and it just shows exactly what you can get done in a very, very short space of time. This whole video is less than 29 minutes long, and there's a lot of me rambling in it. So let's say it took 20 minutes to do one. If you're batch painting, it's a lot quicker than that, a lot quicker than 20 minutes per model. But yeah, please like and subscribe if you found it useful. More videos to come. And I'm just going to start doing the Vindicators soon as well, so I'm probably going to use a completely different method with them. I've just done the gold on them tonight, hence this. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully I shall catch you in the next one. Take care.